Alright guys, here we go. We're going to get into battle number 5 of the singles ranked. I'm Angel of the Night 091 and you are watching some awesome Wi-Fi battles. So he's going to lead off here with his Tinkaton. I'm going to lead off here with my Kilowattrel. Now Kilowattrel, of course, flying electric type, whereas Tinkaton is a steel and fairy type. The best that I can really hope for here is to maybe go in for the Tailwind, boost up some speed for any Pokemon that comes in from my side onto the field. As you guys can tell, I swapped up my team. This is because a lot of you guys were wondering, hey Corey, you're going to use the same Pokemon over and over? Absolutely not. That's not what I'm about. We are going to get some pretty interesting Pokemon in these rank battles here pretty quickly. So with the speed stat up onto my side, I've decided I'm going to swap out my Kilowattrel. Realistically, if I had a Volt Switch, that probably would have helped out. So we're going to go into our SKELEDIRGE, and we're going to go in maybe for a Torch Song. The Torch Song would obviously boost up the special attack stat on the SKELEDIRGE, and obviously be super effective to that Tinkaton. However, now that we're paralyzed with that Thunder Wave, we're kind of at a situation where we may or may not survive. So we're actually going to go for that Torch Song here, as you guys can see. It does a serious amount of work. With that knockoff earlier, of course, that just kind of took away our Power Herb, so I can't do any kind of like a Solar Beam. If there was a Pokemon that was coming in, I would have to charge. So with that being said, we've got one Torch Song in, we boosted up our special attack, we are paralyzed, so that means that we are going to be a little bit slower, may not even be able to attack at all. The Tinkaton, of course, it looks like it's going to be a lead Tinkaton, which is basically going to be used for setting up. So far, as you guys can tell, we've seen the Stealth Rock, we've seen the Knockoff, we've seen the Thunder Wave. I'm not sure what the fourth move was. I would assume it would be Gigaton Hammer, but you never know. Unfortunately, at this time, our Tailwind has actually kind of petered out. We're not going to be able to be boosted in speed at this time. In comes Clodsire. Now, Clodsire is a ground poison-type Pokemon, evolution of the Paldea Wooper, as you guys are well aware. Nothing like Quagsire at all. So I'm going to be honest, I haven't really battled a whole lot of Clodsire. I decided I'd go for the Will-O-Wisp here. Of course, we miss. It would have been actually beneficial to have, but that's okay. He's going to go in and set up the Substitute, of course, and he's going to regain some health there with the Black Sludge. Now, one thing you got to remember is that my SKELEDIRGE has Unaware, so that's how we're able to hit the Clodsire while it's in its Substitute. So we managed to end up getting an Earthquake to the face. Holding on, I guess. Meanwhile, the Clodsire, of course, is regaining some health there with that Black Sludge. Now, we're still paralyzed, of course. Clodsire is going to go in for the Protect here, kind of scout to see what we're going to do. Pretty much at this point, it's going to be pretty obvious. We're just going to go in for that Torch Song. Because, quite frankly, Torch Song is just going to continue to boost up our special attack stat. Now, unfortunately, we get paralyzed. We can't actually attack this turn. And that's okay, because realistically, one turn out of many, not a huge issue. We do still have 2 Pokemon onto our team, so we are going to be able to combat this Clodsire in the event that we actually fail and faint. So with SKELEDIRGE onto the field still, we are still going to go in for that Torch Song. We want to get some damage off onto this Clodsire. Clodsire, of course, the opponent is actually taking an extremely long time to kind of decide what kind of an attack here to do. I don't think they really realized that I have Unaware on my SKELEDIRGE, or, you know, they wouldn't have gone for a Substitute right off the bat. We managed to pull off a Torch Song, knock out the Clodsire, which is fantastic. And then, of course, our opponent is down to his last Pokemon. Now, here's where things get a little bit interesting, because, quite frankly, if you guys have ever fought a Volcarona before, it's kind of a big threat Pokemon. Especially if he gets those Quiver Dances in. There's not much you can do once he gets those Quiver Dances. Now, he's going to go in for the Terra on Volcarona and turn it into a pure Fire type. Not a bad decision. Definitely for sure. However, he's going to go in for the Fire Dance here. Fire Dance, of course, is going to be able to make contact with the SKELEDIRGE. And unfortunately for me, it's actually going to knock out my SKELEDIRGE. Now, we still have Kilowattrel, and we still have a third Pokemon that you guys haven't seen yet. Now, I'm going to bring out my Paldean Waterbred Tauros. As you guys know, this is one of my favorite Pokemon that I have in any of my teams right now. Huge fan of Tauros. If you guys have seen anything from Generation 6 and up with me, I've had Tauros on my team for a very, very long time. And the fact that it's now a Water-type Pokemon is even better, because I don't know about you, but I don't usually tend to have a lot of physical attacking Water-type Pokemon. They've always been pretty well special attacking, like Milotic and other things like that. So we're going to go in for the Wave Crash here. Wave Crash with the Terra Water. Being pure Water-type, it's going to get an insane boost, and then that is going to pick up the KO onto the Volcarona. As we get the burn, that's not really going to matter at this point because he has no available Pokemon left. And that is going to be the match. So, GG. I hope you guys enjoyed the battle there today. If you did, be sure to post your comments in the comment section below. What do you guys think about Torch Song Unaware Skeldirge? And what do you guys think about the Paldean bred Water Tauros? Alright, take care, have a good one, and as always, peace out.